You was cracking, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. Go ahead, give this channel subscribe, share, leave some messages or comments. Thumbs up for the like, notification bell to be informed on all episodes when they drop. You better have that tray slot popped, homie, and you better have it popped quick. That's the instruction that you're given once you hit the block in Sycamore Hall. And whether it be on the high side or the low side, it's the same. We're not talking about the day room. We talking about cell living 3 tiers high on both sides. The minute you touch down, you're locked in that cell. You're announcing yourself on that theater who you are. Same thing in Madrone Hall, commonly referred to as the madhouse. But once you get there, you announce yourself. You're going to be shooting your paperwork down to the bloquero or the llavero or whoever's got the block. They're going to review you, and at that point, they're going to send you over the reglas, the rules. In these rules, it basically reads pretty simple. There's several things that you can do, and there's several things that you cannot do, right? And one of the main things is you have to be able to get your tray slot popped, is what we call it. You got to be able to rig a device up to get your tray slot open that is on your door. Now, this is not no easy feat to somebody that's never attempted this before. Because although even the door, because the doors are bars, there's like a mesh that's up over the bars. And that was kind of like a safety device that was put on there so that you can't stick your arms through and stab somebody or spear somebody, as it's called, or grab somebody or anything like that. It's like these little mesh that goes over the bars itself. In the middle of the door itself, the cell door that slides open, there is a tray slot on there. And the tray slot is open and, like I said, so they could feed you, but you don't actually eat in your cell. In Sycamore Hall, you walk to the chow hall. There's a little chow hall that's off to the side, and that's where you go eat. But if you on lockdown, you're getting fed in your cell, and that's what the tray slot is. And that's also where they bring you your mail. If you get like a small package, it's like, books or magazines, something, they got to pop the slot and throw it in because they don't open the door for nothing in there while the COs are on that row. And this is a lot to do with what happened to Gonzo. If anybody knows who Gonzo is, Gonzo got butchered right there in Sycamore Hall several years back. And that's another story for another time. But anyhow, pop in your slot. You've got a certain amount of time to get this tray slot popped, right? Or you already know what you got coming. You got a discipline coming. You know what I mean? You're going to get fucking boo-bob. You're going to be doing burpees forever. But you have to get that tray slot popped. The way that it is looked at by everybody on the block is if one man can do it, everybody can do it. And it's not an impossible feat to accomplish if you put your mind to it. You got 24 hours to get that slot popped. If you don't get it popped, like I said, you know what you got coming, man. You're going to be facing all kinds of consequences, a lot of drastic shit you don't even want to experience. Burpees for days and then eventually end up getting beat up, not maybe by your cellie or getting beat up in the yard. I mean, it could get to that point. It's very important to be able to get that slot popped. And everybody in there does it. But for us, it's a mandatory rule. So you have to rig up a device in order to slide it through the mesh and get that tray slot popped. There is materials available to you that are readily available inside the cell in order to accomplish this. I'm not going to break it down, expose game, and tell you how it's done. But I'm going to tell you that it's done and it's possible. And me and my cellie showed up at the same exact time. And we worked like hell to get that thing open, man. The moment we walked in there, because we started out, we were, what was we at? I was in Madrone Hall. He was in the day room somewhere, and they moved us out of there, and they moved us into the same cell. And we worked all day long to get this tray slot open. Several different tried attempts failed. But we kept working at it and working at it and working at it until we finally got it open. And when we got it open, I still remember, like, we were trying, we were sweating, we were frustrated. Every attempt failed. We dropped shit on the outside. It's really hard to fish underneath those doors on this tier. That's why the tray slot is so important, because they got the way the door's set up. There's bars that go all the way across like this, and the door is like right smack dab in the middle. So you got like visibility on both sides, right? But it's nothing but block underneath it. The bars don't lift up off the ground where you can reach under. It's block underneath. So the door is the only place that you could really do any fishing, slide something under there, but it's almost impossible to get it done because of, like I said, the design, the way the door is on there. It's hard to do. So the tray slot is the ideal means of transporting everything that you need to transport, your paperwork, all this shit like that. That's how you get it done, is through the tray slot. And they tell you, get the tray slot open 24 hours, right? Sliding that whatever you got through the bars in order to get in there and figure out how to rig that tray slot to pop it and pop it open. It's not easy, man. It's not. I'm here to tell you, it's not an easy thing. But once you get it done, it's like a huge sense of accomplishment and relief. You would be surprised at what the mind is capable of accomplishing in a small cell with nothing but time on your hands. Don't have to think about anything else except what is the current project at hand, and to get it done. It's amazing to see how these things unfold. But we got the door popped, and I got to tell you, man, it was like we had just cracked the safe at Fort Knox. That's how it was like. We were jumping up and down. We were hooting and hollering. My celly was like pulling on the bars and jumping up and down on his bed. And people must have thought we were crazy. But we got that thing open. We're sticking our arms out, waving everybody. Look, man, we got our tray slot open. We got a tray slot open. It was just like, man, you had to have been there. And people are laughing. People are like, yeah, that's right, homie. It's, you know what I mean? Told you could do it. Told you could do it. You know, we had the fool that was in the cell next to us that was giving us all the instructions on how to break it down, how to get it done. And it was finally accomplished. And it was just like, poof, the tray slots open up. And at first, we didn't even know how we did it. We were looking at each other like, how did we just do that? I mean, we got to be able to recreate every step once again. So we pulled the slot back up and locked it into place, and then did it again, and then did it again. And my celly, man, he would just sit there and do it all the time, just out of boredom. Clack, clank, pop the thing open, the whole bag up, pop it open again, until he figured out how to do it a different way, just by engineering different devices and stuff in order to get through to the other side to be able to pop that tray slot. But once you get that tray slot pop open, all bets are on. Everything is going. You have, you know, things flowing through your cell. You gotta do is pop that slot. Hey, homie, you know what I mean? Send us a couple of soap bars over. Pop the slot open. People are like throwing shit over to the next side, and the guy's catching it. So like, you stick your arm out, you know, you swing it over. It's whatever it's tied to, a piece of bed sheet. Guy catches it, pulls it in, swings it open over to the next side, and then swings over to the next side. And when they're announcing that the Yavis is on the floor, everybody pulls their slots back up and wait till he walks through and leaves. And that's that. So popping the cell, tray slot, or commonly in other places referred to as the bean chute, in Chino prison is something that is a must. When you in Sycamore Hall, Palm Hall, same thing. Anywhere else where you have the ability to pop that tray slot open, you must get it open, or else you're going to be hurting for certain, because you won't be able to get nothing from anybody if you sitting there and you ain't got no soap or no toothpaste or nothing to eat, no coffee, nothing like that, nothing to read. If you can't pop that slot, you're going to be one bored motherfucker sitting there. So pop the slot. If you're on your way to Chino and you hit Sycamore Hall, you'll figure it out real quick just by looking at the door. You'll understand what I'm saying, and you'll learn real fast on how to pop that slot. There's Chino Prison 101 tray slots. You heard it right here. Prison Break Raw. Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, non-sugarcoat, not politically correct, all up in your face, slapping you with that dick of reality, and I'm out.